Okay. I don't know why I'm so excited. But yeah. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to my YouTube channel, The Relaxed Bee. I am Taya Sophie. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Over here, I love talking about everything healthy hair care, as well as sharing my own personal hair journey. So if you're all about growing out your own Afro textured hair, relaxed, natural, whatever it may be, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you. All right, so on today's video, I'm going to be talking you guys through some of my favorite protein conditioners as well as balance conditioners. I did a previous video that talked about how you can identify protein in the conditioners that you're picking out. I talked about the different types of conditioners that we have, rinse out, leave-in, deep conditioners, what it all means, and how you could actually use them in your own healthy hair routine. So before you get into this video, check that video out in the description box for helpful context. It'll really help you make sense of some of the things that I'm talking about in this video today. But without further ado, let's get into the video. One that I actually want to talk you guys through is ORS hair mayonnaise. ORS hair mayonnaise has been an OG for me even before I went back to relaxers. I was using this even in my natural hair journey. It's a really strong, deep protein treatment. It'll help you as a relaxed person to actually strengthen back your hair. I love using this, say, a week before I actually do my relaxers, and ideally 2 to 3 weeks after my relaxer process. It's something that you would actually need to use on a routine basis. I recommend using this either once a month or once every 6 weeks, depending on the texture or the strength of your hair. This is a really good deep protein treatment. I wouldn't use this regularly. I have a video I will link below where it shows how I actually use this in my own personal routine. Typically, I would either apply this to dry hair or freshly shampooed hair, but I would always follow up with a deep moisturizing conditioner right after. I don't feel comfortable personally only using this on a wash day. I always like to follow up with a moisture conditioner because this can be very drying. And in my own personal experience, what I found that if I use this by itself without doing any type of moisturizing conditioning treatment, my hair feels brittle. It feels even more prone to breakage, and that's not a situation that you want to be in. But my first and my top deep protein treatment, if I'm going to start anywhere, would be using this once a month or once every 6 weeks. It's a perfect balance of protein that your hair can handle and on a monthly basis. My next and absolute favorite would be this one right here. Also by ORS, which is the replenishing conditioner. It comes in a bigger bottle, but I actually love this one because it has this sweet orange oil and it smells really, really good. This is a rinse out conditioner in my opinion. Some people use it as a deep conditioner. I believe this one says it's safe to use on a weekly basis. Personally, I would only use this maybe every 2 weeks. The conditioner, the protein in this is not as strong as the previous one that I showed you. So depending on your hair's tolerance, you would be able to get away with using this one either weekly or every other week, just testing it out to see how your hair reacts to this. My preference for actually using this product, sometimes I use this as a pre-shampoo. Say I use it to detangle my hair, still go ahead to wash my hair, and then still do a deep moisturizing conditioner right after that. In some cases, depending if I'm pressed for time, this could just end up being my balance conditioner. But personally, I think this works more as a strengthening conditioner. I wouldn't use it too often, maybe every other week, depending on your hair's tolerance. But this is one protein conditioner that I definitely enjoy as well. And the next one on my list is by AphoG, the AphoG 2-minute reconstructor. This is also a really nice light protein similar to the ORS replenishing conditioner. It's safe to use either on a weekly or 2-week basis, depending on your hair's tolerance. I use it the same way I would use the ORS replenishing conditioner, typically to detangle my hair for a pre-poo session, and then following up still with my moisturizing conditioner. It's a really nice light protein. It says just to leave it for a few minutes, but I do leave it in a little longer than 2 minutes. And I also use heat when I'm doing the 2-minute reconstructor. But this is also a really nice light protein conditioner. And depending on your hair's tolerance, you could either use this on a weekly basis or every 2 weeks. Next up on my list, is this guy. The AFOG 2-step protein treatment. This should not be mixed up with the other one that I just showed you, which is the 2-minute reconstructor. They're very, very different. This one specifically, you would only use on a monthly basis or every 6 weeks, not more than that. This you would also follow up with the balancing moisturizer. So there is a balancing conditioner that comes with this specific product. You should only use this once a month and no more than that. It's a very strengthening treatment. Honestly, my preference would be to use a professional when you're using this specific product, because it actually hardens your hair as the process of it working. So when you apply it to your hair, it dries it out. You shouldn't be manipulating it too much. There's a lot of work in getting this to do more harm than good. So I would recommend using this sparingly, once a month if you are to use it, once every 6 weeks. But this is definitely one of those really strong, deep protein conditioners that you can consider adding into your routine. I found this one specifically very useful when I was natural, and say sometimes I would have either damage through heat use, things like that. This actually really helps in restoring the strands protein content to give it back that spring that you need. But like it says rebuilds hair structure for 6 weeks, so you don't want to be using it a little too often. It's a really strong one. Finally, I kept the best for last, depending on how you want to look at it, is this one right here. If you're anything like me, or anyone like me, you might be shocked to actually see that I consider this a protein conditioner. This is more of a balanced conditioner actually, and what that means, it does have a good amount of protein in it, as well as a good amount of moisture contents, but it's not explicitly a moisturizing conditioner like the other one that I showed you that's also from the Shea Moisture line. This one I think is the one product that actually threw me off a little bit, without knowing that it actually does have a good amount of protein, which is why I say it's very important to make sure that you're actually reading the ingredient list so you know what you're putting in your hair. The Jamaican black castor oil actually does have protein in it. It works to strengthen your hair as well as restore moisture. So it's a balanced conditioner is what I'd call it. I would use this on a week wash. Say I'm pressed for time, I don't have the time to be doing the pre-poo, the wash, the deep conditioning, all of that. This would just be the one conditioner that I use on that wash day, and it's one and done. So example of how I would use this one specifically in my wash routine would be shampoo and this, and that's it. Right? Sometimes I will put some oil in it, sometimes I won't. I do a steamer, I do a heating cap with it, and I'm good to go. It's a balanced conditioner, a combination of protein as well as moisture. It's safe to use on a weekly basis, but I would say test your own hair's tolerance to it. I don't use it back to back because I have other conditioners that I like to rotate, so I won't say that my hair hates it. My hair actually loves it, and I love how it smells. It's an amazing product. So this one of my favorite balanced conditioners, so be careful because it does have protein in it. Okay, now, so I'm just going to read the ingredient list of these two. This, like I said, is a deep protein treatment. Ideally should only be used once a month. This, like I mentioned, is a balanced conditioner, a combination of hydrating products as well as protein. And I'm just going to go through the ingredient list just so you see what I'm talking about, to understand what you need to be looking out for when you're trying to select a product. The first thing on this list again is water. It does have glycerin in it, but if I just scroll all the way, the first thing I'm also seeing here is hydrolyzed collagen. It also has egg powder in there, and it has wheat protein. So that's like 3 different sources of protein in just one conditioner. So you know this is going to be very strengthening, right? You don't want to be messing around with this a little too often, because your hair could literally just start doing its own thing, and nobody wants to be dealing with protein overload. It's a whole hot mess. Okay, so this has about 3 different sources of protein in it, which tells me that it's a much stronger protein treatment. So that's good for you to know. Okay, in contrast, the Shea Moisture Jamaican Black Castor Oil, I'm just going to read the ingredients on here. The first thing it starts with, again, is water. Most conditioners always start with water anyway. It has coconut oil in here. It has glycerin, which is all the hydrating products. It has shea butter, which is also hydrating. And then it goes right there, vegetable protein. You see that in there. The next thing it has a little bit of avocado. It has keratin in there, which is also a protein content. So it's a balance of, it also has some aloe juice, which is really, really good. So yeah, this is actually a really good product, like I said, but it does have 2 protein sources as well as a balance of hydrating ingredients. So I see glycerin, I see water, I see aloe, I see the other sources of protein as well. So it lets me know that it has a balance of protein as well as moisture. So this is one of those balanced conditioners that I won't say you would just assume is a moisturizing conditioner, because that can be very misleading. So you have to be careful how you use this as well. It does have a good amount of protein in it. Just to throw in a little bit more context for you guys, in my previous video I talked about looking at the first 10 ingredients, and where they are on the list would tell you the concentration of the either protein or the moisture content in the product. Remember how I said this is a really strong protein treatment and should only be used once every 6 weeks. The proof is in the ingredient list. If you look over there, the second ingredient, guys, collagen. Okay, that's a strengthening product. The fourth ingredient, vegetable protein, another strengthening product. So this is not something you want to be messing around with on a weekly basis, every 2 weeks. No, you're going to be having a lot of problems. You want to be using this either every 4 weeks or every 6 weeks. I would recommend every 6 weeks, stretching out your use as much as possible. And personally, I would go to a professional to do this one, just because it can be very finicky when you're applying it to your hair. 2 are pretty much about the same. So if we take a look at the 2-minute keratin as well as the ORS replenishing, about the same. The first 5 ingredients have some form of protein. This one has vegetable protein listed right there. This one has hydrolyzed collagen listed right there. They only really have one source of protein based on what I'm reading. Oh, actually, this one has keratin as well in there. So, but the keratin is a lot lower down on the list, so it lets me know that it's not as strong in the formulation. But the vegetable protein is higher up on the list here. So they're about the same, I'd say, in strength of the protein content, which is why you could actually get away with using these ones either every week or every 2 weeks, depending on how your hair can actually tolerate using these products. And that's it. Those are all of my favorite protein conditioners. I typically try and shy away from conditioners that have protein in it for like leave-in. I try to use more moisturizing conditioners as a leave-in or a moisturizer, but when I'm doing my protein, I'm making sure I'm using it either as a rinse out conditioner or as a deep conditioning mask. Protein does get a bad rep. It's one of those things where you have to be able to test your tolerance and how your hair reacts to it. But it's important to know the protein content that you have in all of your products, just so when you're using a combination of your rinse out conditioner, your deep conditioning treatment, as well as your leave-in conditioner, you're not overloading your hair with too much protein. Because what you can find is the rinse out conditioner that you use in your pre-poo has protein in it. The deep conditioner also has some type of protein in it, and then you're going in with another leave-in conditioner that also has protein. That could end up being a lot for your hair to take. So it's very, very important to make sure that you're reading the ingredient list, understanding what some of these things actually mean, seeing where they are on the ingredient list, and using them to the best effectiveness to help in your healthy hair journey. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Thank you so much for tuning into my YouTube channel. I really do hope you found this content useful. If you have any specific products that you find have either a balance of protein or specifically protein conditioners that you have found useful in your healthy hair journey, please share them with me. I would love to learn more about them. I'm obsessed with buying products, specifically conditioners, and I would love to learn more and try out some of your own recommendations. If you have any questions, I'm reachable in the comments section. Thank you so much. Like, share, and subscribe.